Okay, hey everyone, and hey Marianne, how are you?
Awesome. How are you doing, Kim?
Good, darling. We're going to have a nice chat. Both Marianne and I have the ability to receive information from our guides, the universe, whoever comes through, and we're just having a nice chat today to see what they want to share with us through us. So it's really, really exciting for us to do this because this is probably something that we'll do quite a bit more in the future. So this is our first chat, and it's going to be really exciting to see what they want to share with us, for us to share with the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So firstly, we'll just start off with, it is the new year. So for you, it's the 1st of January. For me, it's the 2nd. So how is, or what's kind of coming through for you around, this transition into the new year for 2019, and what's your feeling about it all?
Well, it feels good. It feels good. This is me personally.
Yeah.
In the sense that I haven't got a clue, but it just feels good. And it feels like I'm ready for whatever it is. So it's almost as if us, who we are, who we feel we are. If you can picture a string all the way deep down from Mother Earth, straight on up to the divine, back down into Mother Earth, it's infinity. And it's nonstop. And then there you are in the middle, as if, I'm going to give you the images I get, as if you're on a puppet, like you're a puppet, yeah? And because you're suspended top and bottom, it don't matter where you are, doesn't matter what you're doing, doesn't matter, you are always held. You are always perfectly held, and the energies are coming. And so as you go through your life, wherever you are, just take moments just to come back to center and feel that you're held.
Yeah.
I mean, so even as you move like a skier, going high speed, big terrain, the body moves to maintain, that balance.
Yeah.
And that's all we have to do. Look after our bodies, nourishment, get some exercise, some fresh air. Anything that gets you down or feels off, go scream it out, run it out, sweat it out, and then drink. And movement just to facilitate it. Emotions are moving.
Yeah.
Emotions aren't meant to sit there and analyze the heck out of them. They're fleeting. They're already gone. By the time you feel it, it's already in the past.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And when things get overwhelmed, it's almost, they've given me this before, it's like being on a luge. Bring in your arms and bring yourself back into you. Bring your arms in, bring your feet up.
Go for the ride.
Get your bearings and then go.
Yeah. It just reminds me of what I received yesterday. There were 2 things that I received yesterday, which is some other elements to exactly what you're saying, which is awesome. And I love what, feeling into what you've said around, the surrendering and going for the ride. It feels really, really good, because I received yesterday 2 different messages. The first one was that you're already home. You don't need to go home. You don't need to be anywhere other than where you are right now, and where you are is home. And
it's the most awesome place to be.
So wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you're always home. You can't not be home. And the other one was around trusting you'll always be okay. So it's like, don't fear or don't try and act from a place of, I'm worried about something happening in the future, or I'm scared or afraid, or whatever that comes up around, something that you don't want to happen. Because again, what you resist persists. So it's like, well, if you resist something, then it'll continue on. If you want to change the situation and or others who are involved in the situation, You just literally need to know that whatever happens, you'll be okay. And that's where you don't change again who you are to cope with the situation or even the fears of what you think is going to happen. So that was really good awareness, because there's so often we can actually, again, worry about things in the future and then not realizing that actually we're creating them.
Yeah. The other thing, I just got this morning.
Yeah.
I received an email, a response, and you know when you get a response and it's like you totally missed a point. You totally missed what I was giving out. And it's got nothing to do with me, right? Got nothing to do with them. What it has to do with, it just wasn't a good connection. I mean, there's a faulty wire. It's not right or wrong. Got nothing to do with that. And I can tell it's a faulty wire because my first knee-jerk reaction is to find out, oh my God, and fix it. But I am in the habit when something like that happens and it's not, you know what I mean? It just feels like a loose wire, like it's just a little bit of static. I go outside, I just leave it, smack dab in the middle of it, go outside, just get out of that immediate, whatever, energy, breathe, get back, balance. For me, I just stand on one foot, right? That's quick. I'm back in balance. If I can't be balanced on one foot, something else is going on. So my first go-to, release that.
Yeah.
Come back to me, right? I'm suspended. I'm good.
Yeah.
And now, before I even go back to look at the email, what do I want? Right? I want clarity. I want collaboration. I want ease. I want joy. Right?
Wow.
So I just realign myself with that. Now let's go back and have a look at the email because, the lovely person sending me an email was offering to help me with something.
Yeah.
And I want to receive.
Yeah,
so
that's
before
beautiful.
all this other garbage that is just merely a loose connection, a loose wire.
Yeah.
That's because that's not even the issue, right?
Yeah.
What do I want? Now come back in with that, knowing, and it's not even knowing where I am. It's just, I can feel it. I'm in balance. So what is it she's offering? That sounds awesome. So I'm going to say yes, please to that.
Yeah.
And for the other, this may simply not be the right time, but let's reconnect.
Yeah.
Right? Because here's the thing, even if there's a little spark of something that feels, leave that opportunity open. Like we're so quick at judgment and slam the door. We've been there, we've done that through all the parameters and all, so let's just bring it back down.
Yeah.
We're all in this together. Oh my God. Including ourselves. Let's just give everyone a big break.
Yeah.
Give everyone a break. Just collective sigh.
Yeah.
And then let's just start to see, okay, but what was that little spark that glimmered?
Yeah.
Because that looks like fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That looked like fun. That's all your guides want to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it reminds me again of something I keep, and you're like this as well. You get information, but you forget that you get it. And, yesterday, the message that kept coming through is that we're all too serious. We are all too serious. We're just all too serious about life, if we could, see, this is a role that we're playing on a planet and that we're all, that tapestry of everyone being connected, everyone playing a role in each other's lives, and stop putting so much importance on things that just don't matter.
Exactly. And the easiest way to do that is, I swear to God, if you stand up on one foot, my guides taught me this 2013-14 when I finally started recording.
Yeah.
But if you can stand in balance, if you have a thought that's not for you, you're going to fall over. And it has nothing to do with how good your quads are, how good your core is. But by doing this, you will strengthen all of those.
Yeah.
Because, and then once you get to it and you can practice, you know, one foot together doing the alphabet with each, just to build up those muscles you need. But it's so powerful because this is a practice of you being in balance. That's life. That is a symbolism for all life. That is the way anything new that comes to you presents itself.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to get it right away. If we were supposed to get everything right away, why the hell did we come down into a physical body? Right? So really, at the basis of everything, it's your own physical balance. And I kid you not, but being in that balance upon your breath, everything that's not for you just dissipates.
Yeah. That's exactly, like, I love that. And this is where, you know, we didn't probably realize we probably didn't realize that you know, we'd be sharing tools and things like that here, but of course that's whatever comes through. So, and that's where it's great that, you know, when someone resonates with what you're saying, then they can start to use that, and that will actually, you know, be really helpful. I like to just, again, look at that tapestry and say, well, if something does come into my awareness, it has to be a match to me somehow. And I actually like to see what that match is. And sometimes it's not clear. Sometimes it's actually really hard to work out. But in most cases, we know the answers to it all. We know.
But do you find that when these things show up, you can simply go, there's something about that. I'm going to put this over on my special shelf. Go about my day, let that percolate.
Yeah.
And then it could be within an hour, it could be the next day, it could be, and it's like, now you have a couple little pieces up on the shelf, and you're like, I don't know what it is, but it looks like fun.
Yeah.
You know,
and you'll always receive what you need to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing, my guides, because I come from a brain injury, so the art of remembering or having a brain filing system, that's not for me. I have a paper-based brain in that sense. But they assured me long ago, and I, asked them for this, if there's something I need to know, please give it to me when I need to know it. Yeah. I mean, how awesome is that? Yeah. I don't have to walk around remembering stuff.
No. And this is, like a lot of people who are going through these changes, and like you said, you've had the brain injury, but there are some of us that don't have the brain injury and still can't remember things. And so many people are saying, why am I losing my memory? And what I've received through that is simply that we don't need to remember the past.
No, but not only that, if you think back to your past, how many arguments can you remember? I got 0, but those moments, I have stuff that's was so magical and so perfect, and it's crystal clear. So what's the difference? Because in those experiences, I was totally aligned.
Yeah.
That was totally for me.
Yeah.
So if you can't remember something, it might not be for you.
It'll pop back up if it's meant to.
Exactly. So everything you run into, do it, show up fully present, do it. But when that segment, that phone call, that meeting, that email, that movie is done, okay, have a little stretch, get ready for the next segment, for the next moment.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got something coming through for you right now, actually, that apparently we need to talk about, and it's it has to do with number one, in essence, what we're trying to do, or what we'd love to do, is for people to all have the ability to do what we can do, receive the information, be open to receive, to be aware to receive, and to be guided along our path. But apparently what's coming through for us to talk about is resistance. and how, you know, a lot of people who want to be able to receive, you know, infinite wisdom, guidance, knowledge, whatever, as we do, not only for ourselves but for others. You know, there's a lot of people out there that want to be able to do this. And something I received yesterday is, and I've actually been receiving for a while, but it really clicked yesterday, is around, you know, there's resistance around resistance. And it's like, so how do, like, if something's not happening for you or something's not working out, it's because somewhere within us we have resistance around it. And I think even if we can separate from it being our fault or not being able to do something into where would I be resisting this, this is where, you know, people can find out, you know, much more about themselves, but also, you know, where they may not be able to step into certain experiences through resistance that they don't know exists.
Well, I think it's because, yeah, I have no resistance.
This is where maybe you could.
I think what I got right there.
Yeah.
Figuring it out.
Yep.
Is very static.
Yep.
And think of it as you're going for a walk, yeah, and you're bare feet, and you step on the bottom of the forest, and there's some lovely, you can smell the lovely roses, but you get a thorn in your foot.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you can, you know, keep on walking, you can push through it knowing, and you know, like half of your attention is being sucked, knowing you have this thorn because you can feel it. So now you're trying to walk a different way and be light on that part, and you know, all of a sudden now your gait's a little lopsided, and then it gets to the point where now you grab a big branch you found and you're kind of leaning on that too. And I mean, you can do that for as long as you want, or you can also sit down and wonder, when did it happen? Why did it happen? Why did it come into that toe? What? Or you could just pull the damn thing out and do your walk.
What you were, like when you were saying you could sit down and you could figure it out, blah, blah, you know, instantly my intuition goes, oh, that feels hard.
Doesn't it?
And maybe that's the sign. That's the thing that, you know, the feeling hard. And like, if you go back to the way we were all brought up, it's like push, hustle, make it happen. And again, another thing that's coming through is a memory of something that happened only the other day when I was standing on the edge of the ocean, and playing with two different ways of being. The first one was, I want to make a dolphin come swimming by me. And instantly, as I felt into that reality, if you want to call it, of making a dolphin swim by me, that actually felt hard, heavy, like, and I have to almost, I have to be manifesting, I have to be magical, I have to make this happen. And so, of course, with a lot of this work, we kind of, you know, the feelings are the things that guide us as to what is true for us. So then another thought came through of, what if you just had no expectations?
What if you just love dolphins?
Well, what if you just had no expectations to just be here and not say, this is what needs to happen or I want to happen, but let's just say, let's just see what happens. And instantly, as soon as I said, let's just see what happens, of course you actually become laser focused on what's actually happening. You've got no thoughts in your head. You're actually really soaking in what's so beautiful about the experience with no expectations. And all of a sudden, all of a sudden, a big crab came up from out of the sand.
Oh, wow.
So again, I could not have planned that. But in actual fact, that was magical in itself. So it's like, you can still be magical. You can still be again, manifesting to me sounds old or feels old, but you can create experiences that are magical and be open to see how they turn up.
Yep.
Just because it wasn't a dolphin, it was still amazing. So did I think that the meaning of a dolphin turning up would be more magical than seeing a crab? Well, they're both as magical as each other.
It almost seems to be connected to, the disconnect seems to be connected to, if I do this, then I can feel this way.
Yeah. Whereas the feeling this way now.
Feel this way, and then just be present. The stuff that shows up is actually the stuff that's for us. Because sometimes we take a course or read a book or see a movie. I want that, or somebody else said this. That might not be for you.
Yeah.
That may not be your thing.
But the thing is that it's all about, and this is something that I constantly receive, it's not the thing that you want, it's the feeling that the thing creates.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So why not just start by feeling and seeing what shows up? Whenever I go out with my guides,
I love that.
Right? Or have whatever, and I mean, I chat a lot with my guides, but if there's something I'm looking for, it's like, show me.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's go to town. Here's my game plan. Now let's go have fun. Show me how much fun we can have.
That's more exciting, isn't it?
And that's it. And I don't take a list.
No.
And the things I'm looking for, the stuff I might have put on my list that are not for me, totally out of my head. But as I'm walking down the aisle, the stuff that is really good for me is like, I'm standing there. There's 3 for 2, or half price, or like, I can't plan. That's exactly what you said. When you do it that way, you can't plan it any better. Everybody's so used to saying this or something even better.
Yeah.
But how many allow that to be the reality?
Yeah. It is the better,
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my God, I got goosebumps everywhere. And it's funny because I often thought that, and I'm burping a lot too, which means energy shifting, which is really cool. But it's like, and you'll agree with this as well, and be able, it's like you intuitively shop. Like, I will go into the shop and I will feel into the whole store and say, where do I need to go to get to what I want? And again, you don't even know what that really is until you get there. But the list is always ticked.
Yep. Yeah. It's always, even not only that, I went into a grocery store once.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been off sugar and, did the hormone things. And so, okay, get rid of stimulants and blah, blah, blah. So I did. I tried all this stuff on for size. So I go into the grocery store and they were pulling me over to the bakery. And I'm thinking, well, we don't do sugar anymore. But it's like, okay, maybe there's someone there for me to meet.
Yes.
No, it was just me, 15 minutes, going section after, like, whatever, item after item, donuts and fudge and icing.
Wow.
And I was literally like hovering over these delectable items and ingesting it, infusing it, to the point that after 15 minutes, I was full. Wow. I was totally sated. It was the same feeling as if I had come home and, just ate, but without the added sugar in my body. So really, do you need the physicality of it to feel it? Not really.
I've actually received also this last year around supplements, and the facts, and this is something that we can continue probably to talk about, is the amazing and awesomeness of our bodies. And apparently our bodies can create any vitamin, mineral, energy, anything. All we need to do is ask it to do it, and it will create it. And it's very similar to what you're saying, is that, whether it is a physicality that could be taking one step, is standing next to the vitamin C and infusing it. It just really depends on what you believe to be true as to what will be true.
And okay, so now next step back. What if we simply accepted that we truly do have everything we need.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes this not as true are micromanaging of it. That, well, no, I know better than God and all the angels and all everybody. As you know, like I'm pretty. I can read, I can Google, but oh my God, how busy is that? How busy is that to know? Like, this is it. You don't have. There are two ways. You can go knowing everything like it, and one way to tell where you are in all of this on any subject, are you peacocking? Do you know what I mean? Is 60% of what you're saying something that someone else said, you read somewhere? Like, are you, because that's repeating.
Are you peacocking? That's so funny.
Yeah, and we're pretty blunt. But, you know, but you can catch yourself. Am I peacocking? Am I, you know, how do you like me now? Yeah. Or are you, and part of that is, are you expecting a certain response when you're done, right? Those are clues as to where you are. But you could just, and the nice thing about this is you can just give yourself permission, like for this weekend, show me, and I'm just going to accept that everything I need can be within me.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get in there and try to manage me to that point. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm doing lots of burping. So again, it's shifting for someone or whatever. But also, you know, the other thing that wants to come up is depression. And as you and I both know, depression is, you know, this deeper sadness for a loss of, you know, that self and that who we are. And, you know, depression is such a big topic, and a lot of people are dealing with it in this day and age, because it's the loss of the ego. It's the loss of the who I think I am, or who I think I have to be.
See, and depression is, the minute you mention that, very heavy, layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of covers, of cloaks, of mantles, of whether for protection or to hide, but it all has to do with others' projection on us. Whereas if we can, and so now here we are under the weight of it, crouched.
Yeah.
So if we can now just remind ourselves, the loop of infinity, we're held from Mother Earth, you know this, gravity, and the divine, and just be that. Yeah. So in those times when you feel that, just kind of get that picture. You're right smack dab in the middle of the infinity. You are held. Not only are you held, but really you're quasi held from all the angles, even as it loops below you, even as it loops above you. And then, like, just be your balance, be your breath, and just allow this up and over and up and over and up and over. And what you'll find is, from the inside, you will stand up, and this other stuff, because it no longer resonates, simply falls off. It's like a banana.
So what if someone loves everything you're saying, but their reality, they just can't see that or even feel the possibility of, because they've never had the experience of being held or supported, or, you know, they've wished and hoped for the money or the success or the whatever. And so what you're saying sounds like a really nice idea, but that's not my life. What if that's what someone's thinking?
Then they must stand up and try it. Seriously, balance on one foot to their breath, to the point where they're going up and down with their breath, and nothing else matters but their breath. And because this is what my guides showed me to do 14 years ago. I was not in a pretty place. I was, okay, let's get real. they were helping me. They were telling me, okay, a little bit here still, to stick around for the next day. That's where I was. So depression, all this stuff. They would give me messages and I would write them out, and it was, they were telling me to stick around for another day, okay? And then they would show me what to do. And I did this balancing exercise, and what I found afterwards is the stuff that had been troubling me before. I tried to think of what it was. I had nothing. It was gone. It was totally gone, out of my head, out of my everything. And they took me a couple of years later. I was in a couple of situations where I was just the observer. And because they had taught me this, and once you've done the balance, because you have to know what that feels like for you.
Yeah.
You have to know what you feel like for you. And that doesn't come through reading or thinking. So you can do it physically standing with the balance, with the breathing. And if you're still thinking about other stuff, come back to your breathing. It's like that meditation thing they say. But you'll get to the point where the breathing is everything and nothing. It's like it cannot exist within there. Yeah. So other people's opinions, it just simply cannot exist within there. So the most I can say for anyone that wants to try it, for sure, reach out. I know, Kim, you've got some great stuff too, but you have to try it.
Yeah.
You have to try it for yourself. You have to see what it feels like for you. Otherwise, it's all hearsay.
Yeah. And, I can hear the voices of people who say, well, I've tried everything. So they're kind of at that point where it's like the giving up. But you know what? I think there's power in that.
But the other way to do that, because you do, but, you can have what you already have, or you can try something that works. The balance thing on every single level makes sense. We've all talked about balance.
Yeah.
And what better to balance than your body?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So intellectually, it kind of makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But give yourself 10 minutes, and not even 10 minutes by the clock. I'm going to put on a CD that you like, put on music you like, and then just fart around with this.
Yeah.
For a couple of songs. And don't push it. Just do it for the 10 minutes a day. And then sooner or later, because as you try something new, like I've had cats come in and I want to rehabilitate them, but I find for anything new, they have 7 drive-bys. First they look at it, then they come a bit and they leave. Then they come a bit, but it takes 7 times for them to come and make the connection. So give yourself a break.
Yeah.
And if every day sounds like, well, then just do it on Saturdays.
And I think what you're explaining is just be in the now with no expectations of how that's supposed to look. And even I have personally, again, what works for me is actually eliminating the concept of trying and just being. And the thing is, I think that through upbringing or whatever, we have it's just the preconceived ideas of what things are meant to look like. Yeah. In actual fact, it's actually not upbringing at all. What I've been shown through the reset processes that I've done is that we actually come down and incarnate, and within our mother's utero, we actually already have preconceived thoughts around how the world looks, what it's about, and how we fit into it, which then creates the experiences that soul wants to have in that life. So, if we want to rewrite it, we need to go back to having no preconceived ideas about anything, and just, as you said, be in the moment, dance to the music, sing or do whatever, and have nothing in your mind telling you what is good or bad, right or wrong, what you should have to do, and that's the overthinking that everyone has, which is okay, because at some stage in their lives, the overthinking has helped them, but it's not needed anymore.
Well, here's the other thing about that. every bit of you. You got to love every bit of you. And before I started recording and became aware that I actually had guides and stuff, I thought it was me.
Yeah.
I thought that there were like 21 of me. I'm a Gemini, so that's 7 right there. And then there's me, myself, and I. And I tell you, I used to have a room full. But I used to have all these personalities. There was Bossy Betty. There's, you know, and I left it up to them. And so it's like my guides, when I need to get serious and get down to it, they let me know. When it's time to have fun, they let me know. So really, you can just, I think if we were to start to embrace the fact that we have this horseshoe of amazing, positive, wonderful beings all around us. We have ourselves, all of us. You want to break it down, you got your body, you got your mental, you got your emotional. They're all valid. They're all beautiful, but they're not all needed all the time.
Yeah.
So let's say you sit at your computer, yeah? And so now it's like, okay, the rest of my body, let's get you comfy. You guys have a break. Mind, show me what you got. My beautiful mind, show me what you got. If you go out for a walk, though, let your mind have a rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And say, okay, beautiful body, my beautiful legs, and my beautiful muscles, show me what you got. This is all about you.
Yeah.
Give your mind a rest. You know, and so in that sense, then, instead of, because I find a lot of people, it's so fast, they're all on all the time.
Yeah.
They don't want to miss something. They don't want, that's the big one. They don't want to miss out. But if it's for you and it's your path and you can buy into that, it's your train. You own the train. It's not going to leave without you. You can break. Yeah.
Exactly. And the allowing it to all unfold as it should is so much easier than making it happen.
Yep. And then a good tool, because we have so many tools, we love our tools, but have some go-tos that you can do in between. In between all your planning and your waiting and, you know, what you referred to as manifesting. Have your little go-tos and say, you know, as much as I'm going to do appointments, you know, at 11 and 12:30 and 2 o'clock and 3:30, you know, from 6:30 to 8 tonight, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And it's not even anything specific, but I'm going to light my candles, put on my music, and just be in this room.
Yeah.
From that time. Don't care what I do, but I'm going to be here. And then the more you get into that, because it's almost like, okay, sorry, I know the last year for me, I don't know if anyone can relate. They had me doing a lot of research. We did a lot of research on nutrition, on stretching, on exercise. We did a lot of research in business. And now I find the 219 now that we have the substance, now that we have the content that, you know, feels good to us, now let's plug those in. And now we're ready to roll. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. But it's not from a place of thinking. You'll always just receive what you need to know. So it's
and then we just show up.
I think, you know what, I think that's the word for 2019. People are posting all about these words for 2019, and I'm like, I don't really have a word, but maybe just showing up is actually the word.
I've had these conversations with my guys, like they've said stuff like, okay, talking on stage, right? Kind of like Esther.
Yeah.
And I was like that's, for me, that's really huge to wrap my mind around.
Yeah.
And what they told me, and they've, over so many experiences, I didn't feel ready. I didn't feel qualified. They said, all you need to do is show up.
Yeah.
There's
no thinking required, right?
That's it. That's it. Like for this today, I shoveled all morning. I got a stray cat outside looking after that. My cats, housework, blah, blah. And it's like, they kept saying that to me all day. I was like, well, should I prepare? Should I? And they said, just show up.
Show up. Beautiful, beautiful. And, you know, so much goodness has come out of our chat. So I think we'll definitely continue them on.
Can I throw one more thing? For the people there, that are shaking their heads, just show up. Here's an exercise for you. This is so much fun.
Yeah,
because you have to do it for yourself. You have to try it for yourself. And so how does this just show up work? This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Go somewhere all alone. No phone, no TV, nothing coming in from anywhere. Whatever that means for you, whatever next step that is for you. But just literally show up.
Yeah.
You might want to put on music or light candles or whatever, but like I was saying about the room from 6:30 to 8, just show up. And with your guide, even if you have to suspend your disbelief, show me stuff.
Yeah.
So just show up and see what shows up for you.
Yeah.
And that is really the best way to experience this. And you'll get stuff like I knew it was my guides. Number one, it was easy for me because they were giving me stuff that there's no way on earth I could have come up with.
Yeah, yeah.
Not only that, but from the place where I was, I couldn't have come up with it.
No.
So I knew, you know, and it's amazing, and they love you, and they're all standing by, like each one of you's got this.
Twiddling their thumbs if you're not using them, right?
Like, and they're all, not only that, but I can feel when they go up and down my back, it's because it's almost like they're all crowding over my shoulder, like, oh, we like Kim. Oh, look at Kim. She's so beautiful. And then I get that, and people that are not, you know, used to this stuff, they're like, creepy stalker. Run.
Well, they probably won't even see this video, so because they're not aligned with that energy. So
it's not me, it's my guides, honest.
Yeah. And that also like brings up a lot of things, you know, around, you know, are we making it up or are we not making it up? And again, like I always tell people that if a thought pops into your head, you know, it could be you, but it could also come from somewhere else. At the end of the day, it's what you believe is true will be true. So if you, again, they always say if you don't believe in magic, then you'll never see magic. If you do, then you do. So it actually doesn't really matter, does it? What anyone really believes, because at the end of the day, that will just be their experience. But if you want to change your experience, you do actually have to have a different belief.
Yeah. Well, I suppose.
Well, because if you can't want all of this to be true and then not believe that it's true, because it just won't be. So we are the creators of the experiences through what we believe. Which
this is just me sitting here now, trying to wrap my mind around that, and I can't.
It's so fun. I always use the analogy of glass half full or glass half empty. The glass doesn't change, and the water in the glass doesn't change. It's whatever you think it is. If you think it's half empty, yes, that's true. If you think it's half full, that's true as well.
Yeah.
It just, whatever you think is true will be true. I had someone say to me, do you believe in spirits and ghosts and, you know, all that sort of thing? And I said, you know what? I said, what you believe to be true will be true. If you believe that there are, then yes, that's true. If you don't believe that they are, then that's not true. There's no right or wrong, because you know what? I really don't think everyone has the answers to everything.
Oh God, no.
because
everything, I know for a fact.
Everything is perception. Everything is how you see it is your truth. And there is not a one truth. So you can't say someone knows the truth of everything, because everyone's truth is different.
And the information, even for the collective consciousness, it's coming from different areas for different people. That's why I always stress what's for one person may not be for you. Yeah. So if you don't get it, or it doesn't or even if you miss it, let's say something happened and you miss it, that might be a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's always goodness in everything.
Yes. Yeah. But also, your own path is so rich, so rich, and so beautiful. Like, to the point where
you're making me cry. It's true, isn't it?
You're just showing up, and you're like, people have, I've seen it written down. People say, write a gratitude list. I don't write a gratitude list. I just walk around going, oh my God, that's awesome. Thank you. That works. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God, look at that. That's awesome. And it's not even anything I'm doing. I'm just showing up, knowing, and then show me. Yeah. Right? So if you're
it's purely being in the now, isn't it? But being in the now is the most powerful thing that anyone can ever do. And then knowing that that's all you need to do, then you do show up, because there's no thought process behind being in the now. And then you're totally aware of what's going on. And then you have the gratitude of what you're seeing and what you're experiencing. The universe will then say, I will give you more of that for the future. And that is how we have control over it.
Yeah, I don't know. See, yeah, and for me, all I know is I just show up. That's all I've got. That's and what is. No judgment. That judgment is such a huge waste of time. Judgment is static. Judgment is back into you're not feeling anymore. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense. But judgment is static. Analyzing is static.
And validating is static. The thing that's coming through around all of that is they're all coping mechanisms. They're not good or bad, right or wrong. It was just to deal with something. And again, everyone's life is all based around feeling. If you didn't feel bad, it wouldn't be bad. If you didn't feel good, it wouldn't be good. But at the end of the day, like, whatever the feeling is that's created will be then true.
But a visual is you on a bicycle. You on a bicycle, static. What's that feel like? Yeah. You pedaling. You can see stuff that you don't like. You can see stuff you love. But as long as you're pedaling, you look pretty good. So I think it's flow. It's flowing.
Yeah. In the moment. If that makes sense to anyone.
I'm not sure where else you'd be, but yeah. But do the physical things where you feel yourself in your body. Things like kayaking are good. Bicycling are good. Skiing is good. Swimming. The balance thing. This is all the same stuff. This is you and the forces that be. Because that's what it comes down to. How are you and the forces that be? And they're not in a book, and they're not in a store, and they're not in a, and you have to take time to see how you are feeling and what you feel like in balance. And because you got a big smile on your face. And it's not because you planned it. It's because it just feels that good.
Something else that's coming through around balance, which might be really cool to play around with as well, is that I was showing an experience I had in December where I was talking to someone who is very Christian, and I'm not religious at all, never have been, but I wanted to ask questions about their faith and about what they do and so forth, because seeing their experiences and how things they always seem to be calm, things always tend to work out for them, they seemingly have it all sorted. I wanted to really find out what it is that they think and how they you know, just more about them through their, if you want to call it, faith in a higher being or whatever. And the one thing that really stood out from, say them and most people who I talk to, is that level of faith and trust that everything is going to be okay. Because they do not waver in their belief that they are looked after. They have an inner knowing that whatever happens, it will all be okay. And I feel like that's actually a really good message and sign for all of us to take, whether you believe in the concept of the higher being or not. And I can see that when people don't have that faith and trust in themselves, in the journey, in the path or whatever, that's where the balance starts to wobble. And I just think I really got the message around the belief and the faith in self and in the concepts of I can just relax and how whatever needs to happen to do that.
But here's the thing. For you to be okay, right? Really okay. We need
to be not okay to try and be okay.
Well, no, but down to the bare basics, because I went pretty low in a lot of, what I went. And the bare necessities to be okay, you need to be warm, access to food, access to shelter, access to water. If you have all of those, you're okay. Do you know what I mean?
Even actually, if you're breathing, you're okay. If you're breathing and you're alive, you're okay.
Yeah. And if so really for anyone that doesn't feel okay, if you need to, look forward a bit. Can you guarantee you have shelter for the next year? Can you guarantee you got food? And I mean, even if your situation that you're in is crazy, can you check out online about a shelter or some emergency setup? Is it available? And if it's available, let's just relax for a bit and know we're okay. Everything else is gravy. We've blown up our lives and what we need so much, and a lot of it is a lot of it is just making your life more complicated because now you have to manage all the stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not, again, we're blunt, but our point here is to just sit for a while and check in. How's my heart feel? Like just breathe until you can feel your heartbeat. How's that feel? That's pretty good. Right there, I'm doing pretty good. I got a glass of water to drink. I got, a roof over my head. I got you know what? I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So, and to practice what that feels like, so just for the next hour or for the next 15 minutes, I'm just going to sit in the knowledge that I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then you expand that feeling. A lot of people think they have to be at the finish line right now. So good. You don't.
That's that be, do, have, and have, do, be. It's all of that, isn't it?
Yeah, you just need to be able to feel into the potential of it.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it's practice.
Well, I always say whatever is true in this current moment will then be more true in the next moment. The universe just keeps, multiplying or tripling, whatever you feel is true in this current moment. And it's a really fun exercise to do, to even say, again, for the next hour, that's how I'm going to think, and watch how everything automatically changes instantly.
Yeah. And then to be like with the guides, this is what this is all about. Get them in on it. I want to sit here for the next 15 minutes and just feel good. I got shelter, I got water, I just ate, I'm warm. Might even have a nice view. Show me what that feels like. Show me what that looks like for me, right? Add for me. Not something you read in a book or a course. Just like whenever you take a course or a book, take the essence of it, right? Because you can, myself, I can read a book.
Yeah.
I can listen to something. I can hear something interesting. And then I can go off with my guides and say, that sounded really cool. Show me what that looks like for me.
Yeah.
And this is where we're going, like, when we say you have everything you need within you.
Yeah.
For me specifically, I'm not a genius, but I have access to genius.
Yeah. Yes. Oh gosh.
But I
That's
am
powerful.
totally humble because I know it's not just me.
Did you know that's an awesome quote? I'm not a genius. I'm going to quote you on that. But I have access to it. Oh, that.
And we all do.
We all do. And I really think the essence of how to connect to that or whatever is to completely release yourself from any preconceived ideas of what that looks like.
Yeah. And because that's hard, so do it for segments. Do it for like 15 minutes. Everything you approach, do it for 15 minutes. And rather than a timer, do it for a couple of songs.
Yeah.
And because first it's like you have to get into the habit of setting aside space to do it. And then the space gets richer.
Yeah. Oh my God, it really does. But I don't like the whole fake it till you make it concept. So I think what you can do, because people will be going, but that's not my reality, I don't know how to step into that. Well, the way to step into it is in the moment, sit there and say, do I have a roof over my head? Do I have water? Do I have air? Yeah. I am safe. I have everything I need right now. And again, that will then extend to the next moment. You know, even the concept of people wanting money and saying you need to then, you know, appreciate the money you do have if to get more or to have more. You just need to really be grateful for it and acknowledging everything that you have in each moment, knowing that you're already abundant right now creates more of it.
Yep. But
it's not faking it at all.
Even to soften it a bit, like for me, just show up. Because here's the truth of that. I could have just shown up here. What did I know about today? Kim. I talked to her once before, followed you for many years, love your energy. We had lots of fun the last time we chatted.
We did have lots of fun.
I just showed up.
Yeah.
Okay. Worst case scenario, nothing's coming. We wish each other Happy New Year. 5 minutes later, have a great day. That's already pretty good. That's already pretty good in my book. I would have been happy with that.
Oh,
right?
I love that. That really is, I think that's really the theme for this year is just show up.
And the thing about showing up, remember the cats, 7 flybys. So just showing up may mean you just getting ready as best you can so you feel good about yourself and showing up. Nobody may talk to you. Nothing may happen. But you know what? You showed up.
And it's so much fun to show up without expectation. My expectations are always exceeded if I have none.
Yeah.
It's always awesome.
Always. And always so much better. Like we've both said this so often just in this conversation, better than we could have planned.
Better.
I had really quickly, I've had cats this summer that showed up outside. And for me, that's not good because they're male. I got 4 cats. I got a little house. And so they're not fixed. So I need to bring them in, rehabilitate them, get them home. I live in, like I said, a small, so there were a couple of things, and it took me, I had some resistance, let's say. By the last one, he came in, I already had Prince Harry, Prince William, they're all reds, and then another red shows up, so called him Jimmy Jazz. And I told, and this was going on, and he was in the house for about a week, and I had put an ad on Kijiji, for somebody for a cat. And I had a chat with my guides and say, okay, I want someone like the last two guys that showed up for Prince Harry and Prince William, because they were fantastic. Guy emails me. I say, can we phone? We phoned, talked for 10 minutes. He made plans to come out the next day. His name was Jim, by the way. Imagine my delight when he gets out of the car and he's a flaming redhead.
Oh, yeah, you can't plan that stuff.
You can't plan that.
No.
And the best home. And these fellas still send me messages that the cats are doing great.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
You can't plan it. And it's almost like you want this, you ask for this, and you're going, and you're going, and you're going, but then you have a doubt, and you have what about, and you want to micromanage stuff, right? Stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like when you can get fully on board and you've released all the little small print, boom. Yeah. So that's the key. So the other key to that is have enough stuff going on where you're not just toasting toast.
Yeah.
Like have a whole meal going on. You got the soup stewing, you're cutting veggies, a lot of people just, that's all they do. One egg, right? Many eggs, many baskets. So
it just reminds me of someone asked me the other day, because I move around a lot, and I've got 4 children, and we move around a lot. It's just our life. And someone said to me, how do you create friendships? How do you connect to people? How do you have really good experiences like with people when you're moving around so much? And you know what? It's actually really interesting, but even I'm surprised at the people that show up. Actually, I'm going to cry in a minute because I'm so grateful for the people that just show up. And I can't believe I've lived in the smallest towns, and the people that have shown up have been magical people and amazing people. And I'm like, where do they come from? So lucky. But the thing is that someone, my neighbor actually, she said to me, because they're a reflection of you.
Yeah.
And we just have to show up. I just have to show up. Just have to show up and be me. And I don't see inauthentic people. I get to have amazing conversations every day with people all around me and people online. And I'm grateful every second, because this is, to me, is why we're here.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful. And, again, I'm just expressing that gratitude, because again, the more that you're grateful for, the more you'll attract. But my heart just I get so surprised, and it's I think it's nice to be surprised than to expect.
It is. It's so much. That's why I always show me. That's my line. Show me.
Always show me.
Yeah.
On that note, my heart is so full, and it's just so lovely to speak to you guys. I love what's come through today, and I do definitely feel like this is not the end. So let's just see what transpires from this, because we like being surprised.
Exactly.
But hopefully this information, hopefully it definitely will help someone, again, moving into this 2019 year of showing up.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to know anything more, anything specific, one thing I know for sure about my guides is when it's like a tap. If
I like this, the thinking.
They're giving it. Yeah. If somebody asks, but if nobody asks, right? This is the thing about your guides. If you don't ask, they're like grandparents. They already think you're freaking awesome. And if you're not asking them, they're assuming, no, they got this. Yeah. They got this. So they're like a grandparent or great-grandparent sitting on the couch watching the little toddler. They're ready to reach out if that head starts falling towards the table or something. But other than that, they're pretty content to just let you be in your amazingness.
And even like, you know, people who say, I'm asking, you know, I am asking, and the thing is, again, I think it's, and this is what's really changed my whole life, is the whole, it's not going to be, here's the $1 million. It's going to be, go to the store and buy some milk. It's going to be to have a nap. It's going to be go for a walk. This is where the goodness comes from. This is where the connections, you know, you might run into someone at the store. You might get an idea on the walk. You know, it's the path. And it's never like, especially with cards, like I love oracle cards. But what I find, because I do a lot of readings with them, is that people are like, that's not telling me anything. But it actually is telling a lot. It's the how you think the information is coming through. If the information is very simple and saying, go outside more, or, you know, take a nap or whatever, once you do that, that's where the next bit of information comes through. And I just think if we could let go of the how it's supposed to look.
Yep. And I think, and they just gave me back the thorn in your foot. If you get something like mind you, with my lifestyle's very slowed down, and I spend a lot of time shoveling or doing, you know, just physical chores around the property. And to the point, sometimes I can be outside and I just get this huge feeling, go to ground. Yeah. Like it's almost like the ground is just sucking me down. It's very, very strong pull. And I don't, because first I got to finish this, and then I got to finish this, and I'll get to that later. But that, right? But the thing is,
you've got to do it.
You can put it off for as long as you want, but you're going to get further and further and further and further out of balance. Things are going to get, it's just going to, for example, if I go for a nap, right, because I was tired, if I keep putting it off, I'm just getting more and more tired. And I know for myself personally, I regress. Like things, I start stuttering, like so if I need to go for a nap, I need to go for a nap. So finish up what you're doing in like 5 minutes or less, go for the nap. Yeah. And here's the thing, it, like Kim just said, it may not be that you need to lay down for 2 hours, right? Because we know you're busy. It may be because going into the house, to the bedroom, right there on the table, is that ring you've been looking for.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
Okay? So, yes. And just humor them. And even if you don't want to follow this, again, pick the hour a day. For this hour a day, I'm just going to show up, no agenda. You guys show me. And just, even if you got big plans, big manifestations, just take an afternoon off and allow it to be what it is. Because that way you'll find out whether
what you're talking about is that feeling. You've got to follow the feelings, don't you?
Yeah, see, that I don't know, because I don't have any other way.
I love that. I love that. And I love you so much. Actually, while you were talking, I just need to tell you, because they're not like telling me they're not shutting up, is I've actually could see all the energies around you. I can see their faces very clearly just above your shoulders. Yeah. And I've never,
I don't see them, but I just don't, I've never been given a reason not to. No, I guess. I've never talked myself out of it.
Oh, well, I've never seen it before. But the thing is, when I look to go, was that a face? Then, of course, I don't see it. But it's that kind of, you know, just behind you, and I'm like, ooh, I can actually see what they look like, which is really, really cool. So thank you for that experience.
So is my unicorn here? Like he's here.
Didn't see a unicorn, but other things, yeah. So I think what's coming through just as we finish up is that we're all guided, we're all gifted, we're all here just to, again, have fun with each other, enjoy being on a planet, at some stage it will move into looking after it more. And I think, again, the planet is the reflection of us. So the more we look after ourselves, the more we will look after the planet. So that is the priority, right?
Yeah. And really just show up.
Just show up.
Just show up.
It's the best advice ever.
Honestly, look at me. Because but I didn't get here through a master plan or through, do you know what I mean? Like I just showed up and here I am.
The other thing that's coming up is is around these nails. Like I keep posting about the nails and how things start to reflect. Can you see that looking at you, you're reflecting all the colors of your nails? And then I just went, oh, there's that flower over there. That's just, like, the more you focus on, the more you look at, the more it does just turn up. It does. So when we show up, it just shows up naturally. You don't have to try.
Yep. Yeah. Because that's it. Because if you're emitting let's say you got this very beautiful, lovely pitch, and when you feel good, it's pure and it's crystalline, clear, and it's just, and so anyone else going, oh, they just, without even knowing what it is, they gravitate towards that. Yeah. But if you're static, remember the bicycle? If you're static, what's that pitch sound like? And
there's the panic behind it, which is heavy.
Yeah, but whatever was coming towards that beautiful pitch just lost you.
Well, it aligns with a different one, doesn't it?
So the best thing you can do is whatever you can do to just keep emitting, and it's your perfect pitch. Use your voice. If you have a mantra and somebody else's voice for a mantra, if you can re-record it, that which you want in your voice, because your special tonality is your vibration for you, re-record it in your voice and listen to it. Very powerful, this body you're in.
Why is my voice gone now? That's very strange. Anyway, and also I think the thing around showing up, the excitement that creates is that energy, which creates more excitement. It creates more, why don't we just see what happens?
Yeah.
I feel so much better than I have to plan it all.
Well, and it's what a load off for the next hour. All I have to do is show up.
Yeah. Oh, look. This year is a showing up year, everyone. You're going to show up. I'm going to show up. We're showing up on the 1st of January for you and the 2nd of January for me. Yeah. We're showing up, and that's what we're doing this year. So high five, sister.
I love you, sweetie.
I love you so much too. And we will extend this conversation. If anyone's got any questions for us, this is all going to be on YouTube. So any questions, pop them below and you and I can jump in and answer them, especially if there's something going on in someone's lives, if they want some information to come through to help them move through this year full of fun and love and joy and happiness, then we're more than happy, aren't we, to help out.
I think it's going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh.
So much fun. Okay, my darling, love you so, so, so much and look forward to our next chats.
I love it.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.